right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co host, Jake Ellenbogen, and we are continuing with our 2022 NFL Draft Prospect interviews. And joining us on the show right now, we have Tony Adams, defensive back from Illinois. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing today?
We're pretty good, Tony. We're pretty good. We appreciate you coming on. You're our last interview actually of this whole process. So
hey, we say the best for last.
We are closing the book on the 2022 NFL draft class. I forgot to mention that off air, but yeah, we're excited to talk with you. I guess before we get into it, just want to ask you when you started playing football, and at what point in your football career did you realize that this could lead to the NFL one day?
So I started playing young, but I kind of quit it because I really didn't like it. So I was out for like 2 years. And I picked it back up in high school freshman year. Saw some friends playing and kind of joined it then. I think when I ever thought about the NFL, I think my high school coach one day came up to me. It was after I was out of high school. And he was like, he just wanted to talk to me, because he like a father figure to me. And he was just like, you tough, you smart. Like, I think you could take this to the NFL one day. And then after that, I was like, man, okay. Like as a kid, you always dream about it. Like you always throwing the ball in the air, saying you practicing for Sundays. Like I always tell my mama that I'm out here practicing for Sundays, but like when somebody else tell you, it's like, okay, they confirmed it too. Then you start believing it a little bit more.
That's for sure. Yeah, and well, and speaking of Sundays, did you watch the NFL a lot growing up? And if so, who was your favorite player?
Yeah, I think I picked it up. I don't want to say kind of late. I was a wide receiver in high school a lot, so I liked a lot of offense. But like, I think my first time watching it, it was LaDainian Tomlinson, and I saw all these LT posters. And I'm like, who LT? Now I saw him break off a run. I was like, oh man, like I want to be like this guy when I grow up. And I got a big old poster of him in my room. But yeah, I think that was my first like thing. Was like, oh, this lit. I might want to do this one day.
Well, I mean, that's a good one because you were a wide receiver and he was just a phenomenal pass catcher as well as just, running in between the tackles or, off tackle or whatever. I mean, he was just incredible. But my next question here, I just want to ask you, what made you decide to play at Illinois?
What made me decide to play at Illinois? Just keeping it short and simple. I just want to go there and like I wanted to stay close to home because other than my mother, my family members couldn't afford to see me if they ever wanted to see me play. So I knew I wanted to stay close to home, man. I had some friends at Mizzou, and I kind of wanted to create my own path and like put the sprinkle on top. Coach Smith was there, so Super Bowl, a coach that was in the Super Bowl, so you can't really beat that. So that's like the reason I went to Illinois.
For sure. And, if you were talking to an incoming recruit, maybe who had interest in playing at Illinois, how would you pitch the football program to them as well as the school?
Man, that's a great one. I'll say be ready to come in and write your own legacy. You feel what I'm saying? Illinois in the past has been known for winning. And as you can see, the last couple years, we haven't been winning, but the program is on the rise. And I believe schools like that's on the rise, you come in and you write your own legacy. You decide who you want to be. You feel what I'm saying? You're not filling the shoes of nobody else. You come in and decide who you want to be. So ultimately, that's how I pick someone. And I also would pitch them, especially if they from the crib, if they from the St. Louis area, I always pitch this, like, show kids like you could stay at home and win. That was big to me too. When I got to Illinois, I just want to show people like we ain't got to go all over the world to, what I'm saying, get to our goal, get to the NFL. Like, let's show the kids at home, like, it's cool to stay home, you feel what I'm saying, and play for the crib. So, yeah.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. And playing at Illinois, obviously you went against plenty of competition, tough competition.
Right.
Is there anyone in particular, Tony, that stands out as the toughest player you faced?
Man, I played a lot of great players. Two that probably stick out the most right now off the top of my head. Quinn Flowers from USF. Dude was like, he was just like amazing. Like if like he was just amazing. And Jonathan Taylor, obviously, he doing it at the next level. Like them two off the top of my head, like great football players.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is unreal. He coming out of college was like my favorite running back prospect that year. And he's proved us all right because he's doing really good for the Colts. Yeah. Now this next question, I'm curious what your answer to this will be because like we mentioned off air, we've interviewed a lot of Illinois players this season. And there's a very common answer to this next question, but I want to know what your answer is. What is your favorite game that you played in during your college career at Illinois?
I probably know the game everybody's saying, and I'm going to have to agree with them. It's definitely that Wisconsin homecoming game. Like, yep. It don't get much better than that in college football. Like, you are a huge underdog, like humongous underdog. You're going against the number 5 team in the nation. And then in my case, like last drive, getting an interception to put the offense back on the field, and then they draw the ball downfield, and we all praying on the sideline. Then McCourt hit the field goal. Then McCourt hit it through, and then we storm the field. Like, it don't really get no much better than that. That's what college football all about. Creating memories. And that was one for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's not really any argument against that being your favorite. That was an incredible game, and I actually went back and watched it because, I mean, you guys just keep talking about it. So I was like, all right, it's a pretty awesome game. Pretty big,
I think it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, those are some bragging rights right there. You get a win like that, that's that can really shift a program back in the right direction. I mean, really think about it. So, now my next question here, playing the defensive back position, what is the most important trait do you think to play that position?
Probably like confidence and composure. I mean, those two traits, but obviously both of those are like, to me, equally important. But confidence, you got to believe in yourself playing out there, or because if you're not ready, the offense, like Coach B always preaches, like the offense gonna find that one guy. You feel me? And so if you're not out there believing in yourself, you're a little hesitant in what you could do. Like the offense, they're going to find you and they're going to go at you. And composure, because you got to understand the ebb and flows of a game. It's highs, lows, you feel me? The offense going to make plays. As my coaches used to say, they on scholarship too. And at the next level, you feel me? They pros for a reason. Like, so you got to understand people going to make plays, but you got to try to make more plays than they make. You feel me? So ultimately, that's what you want to do. And those two things, to me, are the biggest thing playing defensive back.
And just looking at yourself, what would you say is your biggest strength as a player?
I'll say like my like obviously on the tape, the versatility. And like just not being able to play multiple positions. Like I got games where I done stood out at each position. And I just feel like a lot of people, like being thrown in my shoes, sometimes having mid-game, having to switch position, wouldn't be able to handle pressure like that. But Coach Smith believed in me. They put me in situations like that all the time. And I always stood up to the challenge. I always stood 10 toes on it and did whatever my coaches asked me to do. So I believe my biggest asset is my versatility.
And now, Tony, going into the NFL, what is one area of your game you're looking to improve upon the most?
Most definitely. I just think becoming more of like a short tackler. That's what I say the most. Because obviously you're going against the best athletes of the best. I think I'm a pretty good athlete. But I might run into somebody more athletic than me. So just making sure I'm not just throwing my body in there, but I'm wrapping up and making sure I get people down always to give us another chance to play.
For sure. And this next question is just kind of a fun question, but who are you most excited to match up against in the NFL?
I don't have nobody in particular. That's a great question. There's a lot of good players in the NFL, so I don't have nobody in particular. I'm just ready to step in that cage with the best. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I see it as.
No, that's definitely fair. I mean, if LT came back, I know that's who you would choose, but
most definitely. And I just compared football to UFC. So I'm over tripping, but I'm just ready. I mean, step on the field with the best, not in the cage. Not in the cage.
Well, I mean, they call it the gridiron. It sounds, rough and tough. So I think the cage works. I've never heard it turned that way, but I'll start looking at it that way. There you go. There you go, Tony Adams.
For sure.
So I got this next question for you because I think it's also kind of a funny question. It might be the same answer, but is there any quarterback in the NFL that you would like to pick off more than anyone?
No, I ain't gonna throw. You feel me? I want to pick them all off, but
well, 99% of the time when we ask people this, they say Tom Brady. So he's a very safe answer because he's the GOAT. So everyone's like, I want to get an interception off Tom Brady.
Yeah, honestly, and I'm being so dead honest, I really don't have one quarterback. Like anybody I can get, I want to get them.
I respect that.
For sure.
All good. But this next question, so during the season, we cover the LA Rams. And then in the off season, we mostly do NFL draft, but we still talk about the Rams a lot. So we ask every prospect that comes on our show, have you spoken to the Los Angeles Rams at all?
No, me personally, I haven't spoken to the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because they speak with guys, and actually, believe it or not, we've had people on that they've either signed or they've drafted, and they're like, it's kind of weird because the Rams didn't even speak to me. They looked like they had zero interest in me, and then they end up drafting them. So the meetings are, we like to get those out there, obviously for the audience, Rams fans, but it's definitely not the end all be all. I can tell you that.
Right.
So if you'd like the Rams to draft you, that does not mean that they have to talk with you. So don't worry about that. But this next question here, Tony, who is Tony Adams as a player and who is he as a person?
I think Tony Adams as a player, he's always trying to be the best version of himself, always pushing himself to the limits. Just like I said, working to be the best version of him, because I feel like if he's the best version of himself, I feel like he could go out there and play with anyone. And as a person, I just feel like actions speak louder than words. And I could sit here and say anything about myself, but I feel like life is more about who you impact and who you inspire. So I think you could go around my community. You could go to Illinois. You could go anywhere I've been, ask the people about me. Now, that's the real answer you're going to get about Tony Adams, for sure.
Well, that's awesome. Great answer. And this last question here are some non-football related questions because we love recommendations.
Most definitely.
So if you could recommend us a TV show, an album, and a snack, and personal bonus points if you name a St. Louis snack. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
But since we're both from St. Louis, that would be pretty cool.
Most definitely. I got you. So TV show, I just got off Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
And I'm a little late, but it's really good. So I would recommend people to go watch that. That thing right there is really good. I can't wait till they come out with season 3. Album, there's so many great albums out there. Man, I was just playing this album. Hold on, let me look at it real quick. I'll say Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I feel like instrumentally and how it's put together, I feel like that's close to like a perfect album. That's a really good album. Even though
classic.
I don't listen to like Kanye all the time, but I feel like that album's like amazing. And last snack, I'm gonna have to go with Red Hot Ripley's,
Yep.
Come on. I gotta always represent the crib.
Yep. Red hot riplets, so good. Gooey
Most
butter
definitely.
cake.
Yeah.
I figured that gooey butter cake's the popular one, but like everyone not from St. Louis doesn't get it, and I don't know how to explain it to them.
I don't get
Shaking my head. They just gotta be there.
Yeah, you just gotta
be there.
you just gotta be there and you gotta try it. Emo's
Yeah.
Pizza, Ted Cruz or Drew's, I mean.
And you can't forget we got the best Chinese food. Like you feel me,
that's
in
true.
America, hands down. Emo's too. I feel like we got the best pizza too.
I know.
Well,
and like
Tony, I'm from New York. I will fight you on that.
Okay, we got a little debate going on for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I always say about St. Louis pizza. Like, I can see where it's like, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. And I was born and raised in St. Louis, but I appreciate it and I eat it every time I'm home because you can't really get it anywhere else in the country. Like you can, but you can't. So you go home and you get Emo's and I'm like, I just know that I'm home now because I can't get this anywhere else. And I was like raised on it. So I appreciate it. And
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, nothing is better in my opinion, not saying that it's the definitive all be all answer, but New York style pizza is just incredible. Just that it doesn't have to be like, wicked thin crust, but we got a little crisp to it, great like tangy sauce, cheese. I mean, I can roll with a plain pizza. I mean, I know people like all sorts of toppings and all that, but for the most part, I mean, have you had a New York style pizza before, Tony?
No, I'm just over here representing the crib part.
Oh man, you gotta try it.
That's the way.
One day. That's a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day try New York pizza, but still St. Louis. We have to put it above everything else.
Come on. No other way to go.
And then lastly, toasted ravioli. Another one.
Toasted ravioli.
Yeah, it's like ravioli, but it's deep fried.
Oh, that sounds like that would be really good.
Is.
What was that first one that you were saying? The red rip. What was that?
Red hot riplets.
Yeah.
They chips. So fire.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
They're like a chip, and those are good. I don't know if you can actually get those outside of St. Louis. I feel like maybe not.
They starting to expand a little bit, but mostly still in St. Louis.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Fitz's Soda is also still in St. Louis.
Yeah,
and Fitz's is also really good. A lot of great food in St. Louis. A lot of great football players.
Most definitely.
Well, a lot of great athletes. We represent St. Louis.
Always.
I was watching Jason Tatum last night with the Celtics. I know, and I never like to cheer for Boston sports teams being from St. Louis, but I have to cheer for Jason Tatum because he's from St. Louis. So I hope that he does well personally. The Celtics as a whole.
Well, I just
have to cheer for him.
I'm a Laker fan, and I feel like this is the least hateable Celtics team I've ever watched. Like by far. Like I think they're pretty likable, honestly, because they built their team. I gotta give them credit for that. Like they didn't just go out and get this guy and trade for this guy. They built their team for the most part. So
right.
I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I just cheer for all St. Louis people, Jason Tatum included, Tony Adams included, everyone.
Ben
future.
McLemore.
Who?
Kansas Jayhawk Ben McLemore.
Oh yeah.
Bradley Beal.
That's my guy. Bradley Beal, another really good one.
Beal.
Kyron
David
Williams.
Lee. They all went to the same high school too.
Yeah,
Wow.
Chaminade. They all went to Chaminade. I've never been inside Chaminade, but I've driven by it like a million times, and it's just like a castle.
Yeah, it's huge. Chaminade.
It's huge. It's huge. Sure. But yeah, so Tony, I'm excited for you representing St. Louis, representing Illinois. Excited to see where your journey takes you. We will be fans no matter where you go, whether it's the Rams, whether it's somewhere else. I'm excited for you to get into some locker room in the NFL and share some riplets and spread the awareness.
Most definitely.
And maybe get a sponsorship deal one day.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
The sponsorships are, I mean, I'm there. You drink a lot of something, you start tagging them, you have that, I mean,
You guys own the song here.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm hoping for it for you. But anyways, thank you, Tony, for coming on the show. We really, really appreciate it. A couple of days out now. Big weekend coming up. Very excited to see what happens for you. Stay healthy.
Most definitely. I will. Thank you guys for having me. God bless y'all. Have a great day.
Appreciate you.
You too. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Later, Tony.
See ya.
All right.